Welcome to the Quad, the new Board Game Geek show where 4 unadmirable one-belled characters, whoa, that's a vocabulary term for you, from all around the world of hobby board gaming meet to discuss game-related topics. Each one of us will argue, defend, or fight for our chosen example, which we believe to be the best in this given week's topic. I'm Stephen Bonacore, the Podfather of Gaming. I'm a hobby game entrepreneur, game media personality, and game industry veteran. You find me all over social media, especially on Facebook, in the Podfather of Gaming group, my YouTube channel called The Podfather of Gaming, and my very long-running podcast, Board Games Insider, which is available in audio as well as video on the Podfather of Gaming YouTube channel.
Wow, that was a lot. So I'm just going to say, right? Am I right?
That's a lot.
I already taken up all this time. I'm Candice Harris, a media creator for BoardGameGeek. That's it.
Dang. Okay. All right, I'll sell myself a little bit, Steven, as well. My name is Matthew McCack. I am one half of Room 51 on YouTube. We also have a Twitch channel called This Is Room 51 Live. And you can find us on all sorts of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at This Is Room 51.
Okay, so I guess it's
Is that so?
Yes.
Is that, okay, let's do it, baby. Let's do it.
For those of you who don't know us, I'm Starla.
I'm Mick.
And we are
Our Family Plays Games. Boom! Goes the dynamite, baby! And you better find it.
Yes, and we have a YouTube channel called Our Family Plays Games, where we have a couple of shows. We have Our Family Plays Games show, and we have our OFPG Voices show. Yep. And we are all over the internet.
We everywhere, baby.
Yeah.
We everywhere.
And thank you, Mick and Starla, for being here. This is going to be some crazy romp through our category today. What are we talking about today? We are going to discuss, Derek, give me a drum roll, best filler games. And each of us is going to tell you why our example is the best of these games, our favorite in the genre, or what makes it special in this category. First, let's define best filler games. Candice, I mean, pretty easy one, but go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, just like filler games, defining it is pretty short and simple. So filler games are very short, simple games with like easy to learn rules that you can kind of teach to anyone and play when you're at the end of the night or in between longer games. And I'm going to kick things off with the filler game that I picked, which I'm pretty confident is going to be the best game that we're going to be talking about today. And that is For Sale.
Object!
Not yet.
We can't do that yet? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just kind of came out. The root,
Okay, thank you. So For Sale is a game from 1997. Woo! Back in the day, designed by Stefan Dora. And it's had lots of publishers, but the latest has been Eagle Griffin Games, and that's the version of the game that I have. Plays with 3 to 6 players. It's quick. It's a quick, light, fun card game about buying and selling properties. You're like, this is the real estate game. And I know that doesn't sound appealing, but the gameplay is pretty fantastic. So each game is played over 2 phases. There's an auction phase where players bid for properties. And then after all the properties have been bought, we sell those properties for money. And then at the end of the game, whoever has the most money wins the game. So during the auction phase, there's a deck of cards that represents different buildings or properties. And each has a unique value of 1 to 30. Starting with a cardboard box property all the way up to 30, which is a space station, a legit space station. And all those property cards, those 30 cards get shuffled together. And for each round of the auction phase, we're going to reveal a number of cards equal to the player count. So if we're playing a 5-player game, we're going to put out 5 cards on the table. And I like to order them by starting in ascending order with the lowest value property to the highest. And everyone keeps their money secret. So I forget how much money you start with. Maybe it's like $14,000 of these little cardboard coins, but you're keeping your money secret. And then we are going to auction off these properties. Now, when it's your turn, you can either pass and just take whatever the lowest valued property is on the table, or you could bid a higher amount of money than the previous player. So, as players decide whether they want to bid or pass, when you pass after you've already made a bid and it's kind of like come around the table, you have to still pay half that bid, but you get half your money back. But the player who is last to pass, pretty much the person who's bid the most money, is going to get the highest value property, but they have to spend all of their money. Ouch, ouch. Your money is limited. So people throughout the game, you're going to be wondering, how much more money does Matthew have? I don't know. Starla seemed to spend a lot of money that first round. You're going to be like trying to like get in each other's heads, deciding how much you want to spend versus when the right time is to pass. So the auction phase of the properties is really exciting. You never know which order the cards are going to come out. And the art is really cute and funny. Then after that, each player is going to have a hand of property cards. And when you have your property cards, now we're going to do a blind bid to sell those properties for currency cards. So you have currency cards, a deck of currency cards that range from $0 to $15,000. There's 2 of every card except the $1,000 card. And you're going to shuffle them up, reveal, again, the number of cards equal to the player count. And then everybody's going to look in their hand of cards, pick one of their properties, put it face down on the table. Once everyone has done that, players are going to simultaneously reveal them. And whoever played the property card with the highest value is going to get the highest value currency card. And then the next highest will get the next highest, and so on and so forth. So you're going to do this until everybody ends up selling off all their properties. And again, then you want to see who has the most money, either money left over from that first auction round or from your currency cards. Now, what I love about this game is, first of all, this game has been around since 1997. I've only been in this modern board gaming hobby since 2018. And I literally just played this game for the first time like 3 months ago. And I have since shown it to so many people, played it so much, and every single time it's a banger and people want to play it back to back to back. It's super fun. It's easy to teach and learn. It's quick to play, really nails that filler formula. And then also the auction is just so great. Again, with people having their money hidden for such a light game, the decisions are so tough, like knowing when to keep pushing and spending versus when to pass. And then sometimes you accidentally bid too much and everybody passes and you're like, oh crap, why did I spend that much? I could have spent less. So there's all sorts of like fun that comes from the auction. And then also every game feels a little different depending on who you're playing with and what order these different cards come out for either phase. The other thing is the game is so compact. It comes in it depends on which version you get, but I ended up just stripping my box down to this little deck box. Everything's in here: cards, rules, coins. I pack this in my purse, my backpack, take it wherever, it's just a fantastic game. So many laughs, so much fun, so quick. And I mean, there's a reason it's been around forever and it's still selling. So that is for sale.
First of all, this one, Candice, barely makes the category because our agreement was it has to play in less than 30 minutes, which is even pretty long maybe for a filler. But this is a 30-minute game via BGG stats. I want to point that out. Also, you couldn't pick a game from the 21st century? You had to pick a game from last century? Really? Come on! It's not modern. You guys call me old all the time. I don't know, That's your biggest criticism all the time. And, real estate, so exciting. Real estate auctioning. That's just awesome. The funny thing is, obviously it's a really good game that has stood the test of time. The weirdest thing about this game in truth is that it almost feels like it's 2 different games you're playing. You play the first game to acquire, right, all of your properties, and the next game to sell them off. So it's a very disparate game for me. So that is actually kind of a criticism of this game. Otherwise,
I'm sorry, Steven. Yeah, I'm sorry you feel that way because I think that's part of the beauty of it, that it has those 2 sections. Because even if you don't, even if you're not that successful in the auction phase or you make a bad buy, you can still recover by playing your cards right in the next phase. So I don't buy that. I think you love this game, and I think that was really hard for you to come up with that. But kudos to your effort, sir.
Effort.
Oh, that's wild.
Come on, Nick. I know you're dying to like.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Oh,
I like the game. It's cool with me. You know.
Well, for me,
are we going against what we're supposed to be doing? I'm sorry. It's there you go.
Me, I was having Monopoly flashbacks.
What Monopoly flashbacks?
Okay. Buying and selling property and not having a lot of money. I just started I started shivering. Like, oh my God.
Shivering? You shivering?
No, I don't do Monopoly.
Really?
Monopoly is the bad M word. So
really?
just because of that.
Okay.
I'm not playing
Monopoly
it just
vibes.
because it gives me that whole Monopoly. Yes, it does.
Okay. That's a little deep, though, Starla. That's a little deep.
Like Monopoly.
That's a little deep. Okay.
But thankfully, it's much shorter than even a round of Monopoly.
Oh my God.
all right, Matthew, give it to us.
I will. I disagree with what everybody has said. I do think that this game is great. I
Cool.
did
Let's
say that I
stop there.
almost
Let's
picked
stop
it,
there.
but I didn't because and it actually has a little bit of something to do with what Bonacor said, but not completely. And I think because of the two phases, so with filler games, I actually like calling them snack games. And you know, when you have snacks, you want to keep eating them, right? Now, with this particular game, I play it once and then I'm good. I don't have that feeling of like, again, where I like for my snack games. So that, and I think it might have to come with the two phases from For Sale, which is why I ultimately did not pick it as the best filler.
That makes me question whether you prefer Cheez-Its or Goldfish more. Because I don't know if you know about snacking.
Come on, food now. She gonna attack your food. She attacking food now. Oh Lord.
Because every time that I've played this game and played it with people, they want to play it again instantly. Especially like the lighter / non-gamer friends and family.
Playing with the wrong people.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next then?
You got Monopoly vibes, baby.
Monopoly
All right, my baby said it's Monopoly, so it's Monopoly.
So since you didn't pick For Sale, Matthew, what did you pick?
And he couldn't pick it.
I did not.
I picked it first.
It doesn't even matter because I didn't want it. I didn't want it. I wound up picking an even older game, 1995. Was I even born yet?
Oh Lord. Okay.
My pick is High Society by the designer.
I like that game too. Oh, I'm sorry. Objection.
No, you can't.
Horrible game. But
Take it back. The designer is Reiner Knizia, and you know we all know Reiner Knizia is brilliant. Okay, absolutely brilliant.
Well, he's the evil bow tie man, really, because he got a little evil in him. He got a little evil in him.
His games have a little bit of that.
Evil.
Yeah,
he's got a little evil. But High Society. So, by the way, that one has also had a bunch of iterations. It now, I think it recently was reprinted by Ravensburger, the publisher. And this game is a 3 to 5 player game. Now, in this, it has to do with money as well, but in a much more interesting way than For Sale, I'd say, where players are bidding against each other to acquire various amounts of wealth. But there's some traps in there too. So there's certain cards in there that are like, no, you definitely do not want that card because that's like worth negative points and all that. You don't want that. But there are positive numbers and there's multipliers, which is very, very cool. So you want to get that stuff. And everybody has the same hand of cards of the amount that they have. Now, what's interesting is you want to avoid being the person with the least amount of cash in your hand left in the game. So even if you would have gotten the most points, if you have still the least amount of money in your hand, you are cast out of High Society. You're not allowed to be there anymore. And so the victory is stolen from you, and then somebody else who has the most victory points wins the game. So you really have to think about it. Like, do I want to give up this, like, $20 or whatever, or $20,000 that it is, or do I just like go bid low and hope for the best there for those big amount of points? So I love that tension of the game, and it gets played in about 15 minutes. It says on BGG 15 to 30, but you could play it in about 15 minutes. And I love this game. This is the one that I'm talking. It's a snack game, baby. You want to play this over and over again when you get this one out to the table. So that is my pick. High Society.
Game
Case
from
closed.
the 20th century. There you go.
Well,
That's all I'm going to say.
You're welcome.
and plus Ryder Candice, he evil. He evil. He evil.
But
I love him, but he's
brilliant.
evil.
And it's funny. It's
He's
also
brilliant.
another bidding
Nah,
game,
nah,
which are not necessarily known to be the most exciting thing.
Yes.
And what are you bidding on? People? Like, what are you bidding
Well,
on there?
Well, it makes people mad. You know, the game makes people mad around the table. Like, why'd you do that? You know, they kind of get a little mad. You get a little mad, upset.
So you're saying that
know,
snack
so,
upsets your stomach?
You know, Matthew kind of makes you mad.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does. And it will get you upset. And like, we got to play this again? Dang it. You know,
No way. Mick, you just said that it was great. And then you objected.
It is good. It is good. But it does a little make you upset sometimes. You know, it makes you upset. Yes.
That's why you want to play again, to get back at them.
It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. Yeah, I told you it was a trap. A trap. Yeah, it's a trap. Yeah, but I kind of do that. You know, it's kind of fun. But anyway, objection.
Candice, anything?
I mean, I have High Society. I like I like games that have that ending of like, oh, you know, you don't want to be the person who's spent the most money or did something like that. Like, that's why I like the game The Rich and the Good. I think it's fantastic. A little longer for this filler category. But ultimately, I don't know. I just found at some point I haven't played High Society. I haven't been excited to play it. And so for me, I would just pick For Sale and possibly other games on this list over it.
You're missing out.
Yeah, kind of. Candice got a point.
Okay.
Candice got a point. Yeah,
Okay.
she got a point. Yeah, she got a point.
Her point is she didn't play it.
So, Mick and Starla, what did you pick? Let's talk about your game.
Starla, hit him out. Hit him.
So
Hit him.
we decided to do something that is totally modern.
Yes.
It just came out
It's
this
not even out
year.
yet. It's not still in Europe. It's still in Europe. Yeah.
Hasn't made it to the U.S.
See,
yet.
we go high society on y'all, baby.
We got a copy of it at the World Series of Board Gaming, and that is Fruitoplay, published by Explore 8.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 2 to 6 player game.
Out of France, baby. They out of France.
And
See that? There we go. There
it
we
is
go.
the cutest little
France.
game. It's only 20 minutes. You have 3 rounds, and in those rounds, you have to have 7 target cards, and you're trying to get tricks. It's a trick-taking game. So on the target card, the first target card, or whatever the card is, your goal as a player is to play a card that is close to the target card. So because it's called Fruitoplay, because you've got fruit on the cards, like bananas, and what's the other one?
Apples.
You've got figs and
Figs.
Yeah.
It's French. It's
Apples.
French, y'all. Figs. It's French.
You know, so
It's
if
French.
someone plays a banana 3, then you want to play a card that's yellow with a banana, and you want to get as close to it as possible so you can take that trick. So if no one plays a banana or a yellow card, then the next card that's as close to it on the number would take that trick. And so you do that 7 turns, and at the end of those 7 turns, you end the round, and then you count up all your points, and then you multiply your largest group of fruit by your smallest group of fruit. And if you have any cards left in your hand, you add that to your tableau on the table when you're adding up your points. Now, there's one thing about Fruitoplay. There's a thing in there called they're bad fruit, but we call them zombie fruit because they look like zombies.
They ugly.
That's the number 13.
Yes.
You don't want a 13.
No, you don't.
And they are ugly bad little fruits,
No,
and you don't want them because they'll make you lose points out of your hand.
Yes, it will. It upset you.
Yes, so you don't want to have them. But other than that, the artwork on Fruitoplay is really cute and quirky, and it's a lot of fun. It's very quick. It's really only 20 minutes, maybe 25 if you have 6 people. But it's a cute little game, and I just fell in love with it after we learned about it at the World Series, and it's a cute game, and we've been introducing it to people.
That's right.
And it's just simple.
It's from France, y'all. It's from France. It's from France.
You have 3 rounds.
It's from France.
You have 7
See,
turns.
we won right there. It's from France. It's European, baby.
Bougie.
So 3 rounds.
Bougie, yeah.
7 turns, and
Yeah.
that is it.
So-
that is the game. And it's Fruitoplay.
And that's it. We done. Okay,
I'm
wrap this
gonna-
up.
I'm gonna
We done.
chime
Wrap it up.
in.
Wrap it
That's
up.
the best
Okay.
game.
It was good seeing y'all. It's good seeing y'all. It's over. It's over. Isn't it
It's
over?
the best game
It's over.
because our game is the newest game.
That's right. It's the newest game. That's right. Are we done? Are we done?
I think I'm the only other person on this panel who has played Fruito Play, and I love it a lot.
Yes.
Also, I would also, but
Yeah.
I guess my challenges for it would be that I feel like as simple as the game is, the strategy is harder than you would think and harder for people to wrap their head around because, like you mentioned, the 13 is bad. But it's not always bad because of the way
It's
the
bad.
scoring works. Sometimes you want to get rid of a card, but people
Yeah.
don't grasp that. And I think
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, so
That's true.
that's my biggest challenge.
That is true. But they are called the bad fruits, though.
It's
That's the
zombie
bad
fruit.
fruit. So you don't really want that. But yes, you are right.
But it's
The
all about
zombie
strategy,
fruit.
though. You said it right. It's about strategy.
It is. It is.
It's about strategy, and you
Cute
got to
little
let
game.
people play it a couple times, and then they're ready to rock and roll.
I know,
It's from
It's
France,
bougie.
Candice.
It's the
It's from
bougiest
France.
roller game
Come
here.
on now, from France.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
definitely.
don't think
France.
we find a more
Yeah.
bougie game than High Society, but apparently we found one.
Fruit,
No,
yes.
yeah. Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Well, this game
There we
appeals
go.
to
And
vegetarians.
figs are fruit.
Yes, it does.
So first of all,
Yes, it does.
figs are fruit. First of all,
Figs
kudos
are
for picking a
fruit.
game from this century, unlike these other two. I will have one also from this century. Okay, so kudos for that. Of all the games here, this by far has the worst possible name of all these. The name is terrible. Fruito Play. Fruito Play.
What the world?
Fruito Play.
Why you
That is a
messing
cute
with our
game.
French folk? That's
Fruito.
our French friends. What's up? Why are you doing that?
No, it makes sense. It's fruit and
Yeah, I
you
get
play.
it.
Fruit
I get it.
toys.
Don't
Okay, that's a
play.
terrible
Yeah,
name,
you
but
know.
that's okay.
Yeah.
You get it, you just don't understand it.
I get it.
What?
It's
think
translated
it's
from
lost in
French. In
translation.
French, it
Yeah,
said
let's go.
Yes.
Fruito
lost in
Play.
translation.
In English, it's Fruito Play. It's a really bad name, but I would like to
Fruito
try
Play.
it before I
It's
make
Fruito Play.
too many comments. But one of the things is that in this game you have to collect like multiple, like if you're collecting one type of fruit and then another type, and you're going to multiply the two columns together is what I read, right? I
Yes.
always get screwed in this
Yes.
kind of game because I've got like 17 of one and then I get one of the other, so I get like a 17, and you got 10 and 10 and you got a 100
so-
score.
Yeah,
So
your points are going
I'm
to be low.
the worst at this kind of game,
That-
so I'm
that's
not
how it
going to
works.
like it just because of that.
It's a great game.
Oh, he
Learn
not
to
gonna
get
like
more
it 'cause of
fruits.
that. Listen to that. He just that's a big
You
stretch
gotta
there.
get more fruit. That's all you gotta
Come
do.
on now, that's a big
You gotta
stretch.
get more fruit.
Oh
Just
my
hating the
gosh.
name.
I-
All right, Mr. Entrepreneur.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I will say that French fruit will never sell in this country.
Oh, yes, it will.
Oh, that's so wrong. That's yeah. See, French people, you heard that.
love
Matthew don't like
France.
you. Matthew don't like France. There we go.
French bananas are the best.
Yes, he don't like France people. He don't like France. He don't like France. See, right there, right there.
I will say I have not played this game. It does look very cute.
Yes.
But it did remind me of another game that you can actually get right now from Arcane Wonders
Gap.
that is in the US called Gap. And it works very similarly.
It is not like Gap.
It's a
You
lot
have
like
Gap.
Gap.
Oh my God.
I don't have to play it to
Not
know.
even close.
Oh God, I said that.
What'd you say? What'd you
I
say?
said Gap sucks.
Oh, don't say it.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Sorry. We played Gap. I'm sorry.
Gap is cool, okay? But I also think that based on what Candice was saying, that there's like a depth of strategy there, which is great in a lot of games. But for my snack games, you know,
Oh, here we
I
go
don't want to.
snacking.
I don't
Here
want
we
to be
go.
thinking that hard.
Here we go snacking. Here we
I
go.
mean, this is a
He's
perfect snack
snacking.
game because
He
it's
over here
fruit.
snacking.
It's
Why
a
you always
perfect game
snacking?
because it's fruit. So there you
You
go.
always
That
snacking.
is
Play the game. Don't be snacking.
That's perfect.
I'm done. I think that I've rested my case. Fruito Play, be gone.
So for my game, I will present last, and for my game, I have chosen the best of all filler games. It is Scout. And Scout was originally published in 2019,
Oh,
pretty
that is
recently,
good.
by One More Game
yeah.
in Japan, and now published by Oink Games. The designer is Kai Kajino. The mechanics are hand management, ladder climbing, score and reset. In the category of card game, of course, 2 to 5 players, plays in 15 minutes for ages 9 up. So Scout is a ladder climbing game with the following broad characteristics. Each card has 2 potential values. Players may not rearrange the cards in their hand, and players may pass their turn and scout, taking a card from the hand that's currently on the table, the current high set of cards. More specifically, the cards have a different value on each half of the card, 45 cards in total, and all the combinations of 1 to 10. So you have a card 1 and 2 on the bottom, then 1 and 3 on the bottom, etc., through all 45 combinations. Once each player has been dealt their entire hand's cards, they pick them up without rearranging the cards. If they wish, they can rotate the hand of cards and take a look at it that way. But again, they cannot rearrange the order of cards. So you look at the cards in one orientation, you whine about the fact that the cards stink. You turn them around in the other orientation, you then whine again about and then you design either way. Whining is should be in the rules because everybody whines when they pick up their, oh, this is terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay. On a turn, you have 2 potential actions. You have a play action. It's called show in the current edition. Ignore the theme in the current edition. It doesn't make sense. You have a play action. Player chooses 1 or more adjacent cards in their hand, and that's the important thing. They have to be next to each other. They could be all of the same value, which is a set of cards, right, for card players, or all values of the cards are in consecutive order, ascending or descending, like 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1. Either is the same, and which is a run of cards. Then you play that hand to the table. They can only do this if the table is either empty or if they're playing a hand that's higher ranked than the hand before. A hand is higher ranked if it has more cards than the currently played hand, or it has cards of the same value, but instead of consecutive cards. It has the same quantity of cards, but the type with different values. So that's the 3 things, and it's a fancy way of saying that a run of cards like 2, 3, 4 is lower than a higher run, 7, 8, 9, and that's lower than 3 of a kind, 1, 1, 1. There you go. When a player does play a higher hand of cards, they take all the cards from the previous hand, they put it in front of them. Each card is going to be worth 1 victory point. Okay? And the second thing you can do is you can scout. Player takes a card from either end of the currently played hand on the table and places it anywhere in their hand. It's the only time that a card can be rearranged, and you can place it in either one orientation or the other orientation. There's a third option that can only be done once per round, and that's the scout and play. A player can do both of those things. It's only once. You got a token, you turn it over, and you do it. And that's a very critical thing to do once per turn. When a player has emptied the hand of cards completely, or it's gone all the way around and everyone's just scouted the current hand that's on the table, the hand ends. Players receive 1 victory point for each face-down card in front of them, 1 victory point for each token they were given when they were scouting cards, getting scouted by other players. And you subtract 1 point for each card remaining in your hand, except for the player if they got scouted the whole time and they ended up with that hand in front of them. Play as many rounds as there are players, and then the game's over. Most points wins. In conclusion, this game is simply genius. Its simplicity, its versatility or replayability with the way the game plays out, and above all, and I will coin this mechanic, hand reduction mechanic, where each time a hand is scouted, the next player is faced with an easier hand to beat. And that is just the cool part. Think about it. Player 1 plays a monster hand like 6 2s. The next player can't beat it, so they scout. They give the player 1 victory point, and they take a card into the hand. Now that hand on the table is 5 2s. Player 3 simply can't. Similarly, can't beat it.
No, I can't.
You can't
Object. No.
And then they give the player a token, and now it's 4 2s. Player 4 can't beat it. They use the scout and play token, and they remove a card. There's only 3 2s. They play a bigger hand. So in conclusion, scout. Fantastic game, the best filler game out there, but also a game that you can play with almost anyone, almost anywhere you got a flat surface, and have a great time doing so. Your Honor, the defense rests.
Object. I
It's
object.
a pretty good game. It's a good game. I like the
I'm
game.
supposed to object when I'm supposed to
What,
agree.
I'm a jet.
No.
What we got? I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I like the game.
And
I do object to one thing.
I
couldn't find that dang game for over a year.
Not my fault.
I tried to find that crazy game, and on games I know well, somebody's fault because I tried to find that thing. And then it went to Gen Con that year, and then everybody came in there and got like 15 different copies of it and sold it out. I was like, come on. We can never get one. So that's my only issue.
I object because the artwork.
Now you said you like the game.
The artwork does not reflect the game. What? There's a big top tent. You think it's a circus game, and it's not. But they need a different artwork. So therefore, the game sucks. I mean, I can't say sucks. The game is bad.
What? Why you keep cussing? We're our family game, family.
I mean, I just said that. Stop. You're making me say that word. I can't say that. Okay, so because the game is not good. There we go.
It is good, though.
It's a good game.
Well, you may be hunted down and fired. I know, but you talking about?
You got to.
I can't agree.
Come on.
On that reason alone,
object. Okay.
The artwork on the box is the reason why it's not a good game.
Really, the art? That's where you're coming?
I was one of the first, early adopters. I was playing the first edition of Scout before a lot of people even knew what Scout was.
Oh, she want to be bougie too. See, that's bougie. That's bougie.
Yeah, I'm bougie. No, I was playing it and I loved it, and I think it's a great game. I think it's fantastic. I think it's clever for all the reasons you mentioned. Mm-hmm. But there are two things I want to comment on. Yeah. One is I've never played a whole game of Scout in 15 minutes. So you say 15 minutes. You play one round per player. There's no way you're wrapping that game up in 15 minutes. So that's number one.
So BGG is lying. It says 15 minutes.
Yes. Hey, that's not BGG. That's whatever the publisher or designer enters.
That's right.
Go ahead on, Candice. Go ahead on.
The second thing is, yes, while it's a more modern game, will it be around in 20 years? Will people still be talking about it? I don't know, because right now we have a whole revolution, a whole renaissance of trick-taking games and ladder climbing games. And I have played ones that are nobody was talking about Crash Art because it just didn't make it, but it was doing a lot of the things that Scout does way before Scout, but nobody knew about it. So it's not it just happened to get some popularity. I don't know if people are still going to be playing it in 20 years, but I like it.
Scout will be played in 20 years, I guarantee. I'll make you a bet right now.
Okay.
Matthew.
Okay.
Take us out, Matthew.
Candice did well. We don't have to do anything.
I was gonna say the same thing that Candice said. There's no way this game plays in 15 minutes.
Oh, absolutely good. Then you're AP in the game, Matthew. You're AP.
No, it could go a little bit longer depending on how many players you've got and how long people are thinking. So. Yeah, this is not a snack game, okay? This is another one.
It's a buffet.
I would say it's a whole buffet. I do like this game.
But I want to go to the buffet again, though. I'll go to the buffet again, though. I like it.
I'll play again. But not right afterwards. It's one of those ones, again, that I play it, I'm good, I'm done. It's not one, again, that I'm like, oh yes, I want to do this again right now, So that's really my biggest qualm with Scout. It's a great game. Again, I don't know if it'll be around in 20 years. I hadn't quite thought about that.
It shall be.
But it might. Who knows? But I know for sure High Society's been around, so I win.
High Society's been around longer than you. I love that idea. We're just about. So today we tackled the very difficult topic of best filler games. And there really are a lot of good ones in this category, you have to admit. I hope you all agree that the choices made by the co-hosts were excellent and really representative of the category. What do you think? Tell us in the comments for the show. Agree, disagree, say Mick is so mean to Bonacor. Let us know what you think.
What? What do you mean? What? Why you call me out? Why you call me out? That's wrong. Matthew hates France. You call me out. Matthew hates France.
I hate France. I hate fruit.
And Candice, look, and Candice, man, she can't put a war game on here. So come on, why you calling me out?
Maybe we'll have.
Dude. Candice would put a war. She would put Liberty and Death or someone was the war game she would put out there.
By far, this will have been our most chaotic episode, and that is awesome. Thank you, Mick. And so
Chaotic? Why you trying to call us chaotic?
But just in case you've forgotten, I'm Stephen Bonacore, the podfather of gaming.
And I'm Candice Harris from BoardGameGeek.
I'm Matthew McCack from Room 51.
And we are Our Family Plays Games.
Forever, baby. Yeah.
And we hope to see you here next time on the Quad.
That's what we do.
Chaos.
If you add the chaos, then you got
I'm
chaos.
chaotic.
Chaotic.
I'm not chaotic.
In D&D terms, you're chaotic neutral in D&D terms. Yes, you are.
No, I'm chaotic good. Chaotic good.